Now, you're about to meet someone who is on a mission to close the STEAM gap for girls and women. What is the STEAM gap? Well, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art and Mathematics. And although we have come a long way, there is still a lot to do before Australian girls and women have equal opportunity and access to work and education in those fields. Eman Soliman is the founder and CEO of EduTech Australia. Morning, Eman.
Good morning, Victoria. How are you?
Yeah, very well. How do you do that? How do you close the gap and make it easier for women and girls to get involved in those fields?
Well, with the difficulties, let's say that, we find a lot of challenges. So EduTech Australia, we are, and our Education4ALL Equity Program is recognised by the United Nations Association of Australia for demonstrating outstanding engagement, delivering on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And when we started EduTech Australia, what I wanted is to build a company that changed the world via digital education and to close the gender gap for girls in particular, but also we face the STEAM gap itself in Australia. So there were my aims to address this education gaps and create a difference in the lives of many students. So we started with empowering young girls first and students because despite that in some stages we had funding, but we showed no interest from girls to participate in STEAM fields or even to choose STEM elective subjects. We knew that the challenge is beyond funding at this stage. So we decided to actually empower and inspire girls by showing women in STEM fields and even for female teachers because it was a scary avenue, particularly for teacher as a female who's teaching STEM as well. And once we broke this barrier and show great role models, a lot of girls and more female teachers even start to follow the mission and joining the STEAM programs in some schools, like, for example, Bankstown Girls High Schools, which is a very high low ECS in New South Wales. They had 2,000% improvement in STEM engagement. And now I've got girls after 4 years studying mechatronics at universities, and the school started to offer elective subjects. They become a world champions even, hold third place in the world in the robotics competitions, which is really great to see. But we also closed the STEAM gap for students from special education and for mainstream students, where we offer an equal opportunity for all students to have access to adequate robotics programs and access also to competitions for robotics to represent Australia in the world final in Japan.
Wow, you must be so proud with some of those results. But I understand you also distribute educational packs across Australia. Like, what are in those packs?
So basically, we have, as an international distributor, we focus to start up with on equity in education. So we come from an education background. So I was a teacher consultant supporting schools, kindergarten to year 12. And obviously, I took a national mission to improve students' engagement in STEM and robotics and also to close the gap, enhance quality teachers and learning. So we identified the gaps that are happening. I built an ecosystem to ensure sustainable programs because sustainability is issues in our Australian schools. Close the gaps by giving them the adequate equipment. And basically, we have different schools resources that we support school with. The famous and biggest one is the RTech Japanese robotics program, and that's number one in Japan. And when I saw the curriculum, I find a great need for our Australian schools to have this. So now the program is actually integrated in most schools, being taught in timetable and in STEM electives, iSTEM classes, and
So in those packs, like, are they robotics packs? Are you sending out, packs with little, do-it-yourself robot kits? Is that it?
It's got a robotics electronic parts, plus it comes with the students' textbooks, step-by-step guides for 2 years, for example, for some of the robotic kits, 2 years curriculums, teachers' lesson plans and step-by-step guide. And also we give the teachers free training and ongoing support in the lifetime of the program for free, which is at the icing on top of the cake, if you want to call it. And that's one of the reasons the program is sustainable too. But we build up from starting with the schools, identify the needs, and, for example, we also develop our STEAM Share Kit system. So instead of we spend money on marketing and advertising, we lend the schools the robotic kits for free. So we're actually now considered a social enterprise and social innovators.
That's really great. That's fantastic. And that's making a practical difference. Again, really, really good. Is it true, and if you're just tuning in, it's 10:24. Eman Soliman is the founder and CEO of EduTech Australia. Is it true that girls' confidence in STEAM subjects is lower than boys? And if so, why is that, do you think, Eman?
So researchers told us that actually girls do better in STEM than boys. However, it was their self-confidence that navigate them away from being involved or even select STEM subjects. And that was due to so many things, like the stereotyping, male-dominated industry. It makes girls and women scared to actually invade this. And once they are in, they're facing gender gap, they're facing pay gap, they are disadvantaged, and it's so hard for them if they succeed. You know, that woman is actually did really well for her to actually shine in the STEM or tech field, like to be considered a genius to make it up there. And I think that's one of the reasons why. And once we gave the girls the self-confidence, the rest was history. We just had to build their self-confidence and show great role models from other girls and other female teachers and other women, like, you know, professors in physics and, women in fintech, STEAM tech, and it really made all the difference.
What do you think about adding arts in there? Because I've heard you use the acronym STEM a couple of times, which is science, technology, engineering and mathematics, but people have added art in there to make it STEAM. How do you feel about that?
We added even sports tech, so it's actually now STEAM with EduTech Australia.
Okay.
So arts, not many people know that, but actually arts and sports, for example, they really heavily rely on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for them even to do any future jobs. Like, this is quite critical for this, and it's got a huge link to this. So it's not because you're doing any art things that you will need the STEM skills to actually do, any jobs, future jobs in art, or even as a student. They use a lot of technology when it comes to, say, for example, music. We use a lot of innovation kind of, designs, and when they create, for example, or design a robot, they need to have an artistic side of things when they're developing this, like social medias, even and flyers and all that. So it's all required like an eye for art as well. So it's actually fully involved. And obviously sports tech is like, sports has got a huge career for students who like sports and also like technology. So there's a lot of huge, Well,
there's a lot of crossover there, Eman. Look, the work you're doing is absolutely fantastic by the sounds of it. Thank you, Eman Soliman, founder and CEO of EduTech Australia. She's also the Social Inclusion Ambassador for Australia, the Women in Tech Global Organisation, and chairwoman and founder of Education4ALL. Talking about the work that EduTech does to encourage women and girls to get involved in STEAM and technology in particular. Well, not necessarily in particular, but I mean, there was one thing she was talking about there, sending out robotics kits to schools to get them involved in that, and including lesson plans and help for teachers to teach those classes. Really important work, because the Australian government reports that about 15% of STEM-qualified jobs are held by women. So there's a lot more work to do there.